Hi guys, greetings of the day. Welcome to our channel L2L, Live to Learn. In this video, we are going to learn about the English tenses. For beginners, these tenses seem to be very complicated because there is a lot that we need to keep in mind. As a teacher, I have seen students struggling to understand these tenses properly. In this video, I will try to simplify things so that it becomes easier for you to remember them and use them correctly. We will also have some practice exercises after every section to check how much we have learned. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. When we talk about the English tenses, we are talking about the verb tense. With this, we express when the activity in a given sentence took place, whether it is happening now in the present, whether it happened in the past, or will it take place in the future. Broadly, the tenses in English are classified into three major categories: past, present, and future. Past tense means that the actions or the activities that have already taken place. It may be an hour ago, the previous day, last week, a month ago, and so on. Present tense represents the activities that are taking place right now, like you are watching a YouTube video. Future tense means the actions are yet to happen and will take place in the future. Now we can understand these by using a timeline. Present. At the moment you are listening to my voice. Everything before this current time is in the past, and anything which will come after the current time will be the future. We will now learn them one by one and see how we can use them correctly and effectively in our verbal and written communication. Present. We will start with the present tense. The present tense is divided further into four categories, and the first is present simple. We use this tense to describe habits, situations, general facts, or truth, and even scheduled arrangements in the future. Let's look at some examples. Susan plays badminton every Sunday. Here we are talking about a routine, so we use the simple present. I prefer tea to coffee. I'm talking about my habit. So again, we use the present simple. My family goes to the beach every summer. Again, here also we are talking about a routine. So we use the present simple tense. Now let's learn when we can use the present simple. We use this tense to talk about things that are true at the moment, but they may change in the future. Example, I am a teacher. They are students. He lives in Paris. In all these examples, we are talking about the current situation, but it may change any time in the future. We also use this verb tense to talk about the activities that take place regularly. For example, Susan plays badminton every Sunday. We can also use this verb form to talk about something which is always true, or when we talk about the facts. For example, air is a mixture of gases, the sun rises in the east, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. These sentences represent facts, so we use the simple present tense to talk about them. We can also use this verb tense to talk about the scheduled events in the future. Example, the train leaves at 4:30 in the evening. Though we are talking about the future, still we can use the present simple tense in such cases. We also use this tense to talk about films, books, stories. Example, at the end of the story, the boy finds the treasure. Another use of present simple is when using the verb to be. I am hungry. The purse is expensive. He is tall. Now let's look at how to form the present simple tense. To make the present simple, we use base form plus s or es. For example, in the given table over here, we have taken the verb play. So the first segment that you see is a positive sentence, affirmative sentence. I play, you play, we play, they play. He plays, she plays, it plays. For a negative sentence, we would say, I do not play, you do not play, or we don't play, they don't play, he does not play, she doesn't play, it does not play. Interrogative. For interrogative, we are asking questions. So hence, it would be, do I play? Do you play? Do we play? Do they play? Does he play? Does she play? Does it play? So we have here a couple of fill in the blanks, and we need to fill the blank with the given word that is mentioned in the brackets. So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. So let's check the answers. You've got all of them right, I hope. Let's see. The first one. Sam loves to play football. The sun sets in the west. Susan doesn't like mathematics. Does she live in Paris? She cooks every day. Let's now move on to present continuous, where sometimes it is also referred as present progressive. The present continuous verb tense shows that an activity or action is happening now, frequently, and may continue in the future. We can use this tense to talk about activities that are taking place as we speak. For example, take an umbrella. It's raining outside. The girl is playing with a Barbie doll. You're watching a YouTube video. In all these examples, the activities are in progress and may continue for some time in the future. For instance, we can also use this tense to talk about our plans, schedules, or arrangements. Sam is going to New York tonight. What are you doing this weekend? These activities will be in the future, but we can use the present continuous tense to talk about them. We can also use this tense to talk about something that is temporary. I am living in London, so my company has sent me to London on deputation, and I will return as soon as the assignment is complete. Next, the lady is talking on the phone. The activity will end when the call is disconnected. Both the sentences above describes something which is temporary and will change in the future. We can use the present continuous tense to talk about them. Sometimes we also use this tense to talk about a trend. The prices of fuel are rising. The global temperature of the earth is gradually increasing. In both these sentences, we are trying to show some trend, and we can do so by using the present continuous tense. Let's also see when not to use present continuous. For example, when I say I'm living in India, since I was born in India and lived here all my life, I should say I live in India. When something is permanent, we do not use present continuous. Hence, I am living in India is incorrect. I should say I live in India. If we do not use the present continuous tense with stative verbs. Now, don't worry, I'm going to explain what are stative verbs. In English, we have two kinds of verbs, action verbs and another would be the stative verb. Now, let me help you understand what that means. Action verbs are simple verbs that represent an action, whereas the stative verb shows a state which could be mental or emotional. Stative verbs indicate thoughts, senses, feelings, or description. With the stative verbs, we use the present simple tense instead of the present continuous. For example, action verbs like run, write, walk, sing, dance. Similarly, stative verbs are love, know, need, desire, want. Let's understand this with a couple of examples. You can see a table on your screen. It has the incorrect sentence and the corrected one. So the first column we have the description. When we are describing something, say for example, he is looking like his father. That is incorrect. The correct one is he looks like his father. Thought, I am believing in God. It is incorrect. The correct sentence is I believe in God, your belief system. Sense, this coffee is smelling great. That's incorrect. This coffee smells great. Possession, I am having a car. Again, incorrect. I have a car. Feeling, Susan is seeming happy. The correct usage is Susan seems happy. Now let's see the formulation of the present continuous tense. To make this tense, we use the subject plus to be plus verb ing. We are adding an ing along with the base verb. For example, playing, walking, talking. So here in the table, you can see again, we have the first segment, which is the positive or the affirmative. I am playing, you are playing, they are playing, we are playing, he is playing, she is playing, it is playing. Negative sentences. I am not playing, you are not playing, we are not playing, they are not playing. He is not playing, she is not playing, it is not playing. Interrogative or questions. Am I playing? Are you playing? Are we playing? Are they playing? Is he playing? Is she playing? Is it playing? Now pause the video and try to solve this. So let's see how you have done. Here are the answers. He is running. She is playing football. Is your laptop working? I am not sleeping. What are you doing now? Let's now move on to our next tense, which is present perfect. We use this to indicate a connection between the present and the past. The exact time of action is before now, but not specific when in past. And we focus more on the result than the action itself. In simple words, it connects the present and the past. So to begin with, we use the present perfect tense for completed activities in the past or when we are talking about our experience. For example, I have already read the novel. I have seen this movie before. Sam has written the essay. We also use present perfect to describe something that started in the past and continues in the present. For example, Susan has lived in Delhi all her life, and she still lives in Delhi. She has worked in the hospital for 5 years, and she is still working in the hospital. We also use this tense for something that had happened in the recent past, but we can see the result in the present, or the consequences of the activities may continue in the present. I have just eaten breakfast. As a result, I'm not hungry. We also use present perfect to talk about repeated events between the past and now. I have visited London many times. I have eaten in that restaurant several times. Also, we use this when the specific time of an event is not important or not known. Someone has stolen my mobile. So over here, it is not specific as to when exactly my mobile was stolen. However, I have lost it. Have you seen the movie Titanic? The person over here is only interested in knowing if you have seen the movie rather than when you saw it. Let's now see how to form present perfect tenses. The formula is simple: subject plus have or has plus past participle. As you can see the table in front of you, the affirmative sentence or the positive sentence sounds like I have played, you have played, we have played, they have played. He has played, she has played, it has played. Negative sentences. I haven't played, you haven't played, we haven't played, they haven't played. He hasn't played, she hasn't played, it hasn't played. Interrogative or questions. Have I played? Have you played? Have we played? Have they played? Has he played? Has she played? Had it played? As usual, we have some fill in the blanks for you. You can read the sentence and you can see there is a bracket in which we have written or mentioned the verb. Use the correct tense to finish this. Here are the answers. How many did you get this time? So let's check the first one, which is Sam has written an email to Sarah. They have gone home. He has bought a new mobile phone. John has cleaned his car. I have walked on this road before. Our next tense is present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous is also sometimes referred to as present perfect progressive. It is a verb tense that is used to show that an action that started in the past and it's still going on in the present. The present perfect continuous usually emphasizes the duration or the amount of time for which an action has been taking place. Or in simple words, we can say that the present perfect continuous tense shows that the activity started in the past and is still in continuation. Let's look at some examples first. We have been playing cricket since morning. She has been reading a novel for a week. In these examples, the activities had started in the past and they are still in continuation. In these cases, we can use the present perfect continuous tense. We use this tense in the below cases. As you can see over here, actions that started in the past and continue in the present. For example, I've been working on this presentation since this morning and I'm still working on it. They have been traveling since last month and they are still traveling. I have been playing the video game for past 2 hours and I'm still playing it. In these sentences, we are trying to show the duration for which work is in progress. In these types of sentences, we often use for or since. The next segment is actions that have just finished, but we are interested in the results. She has been painting since last Saturday, and we are interested to see the completed painting. It's been raining and we can still see water on the road. Let's see now how to form present perfect tenses. The formula is simple. The subject plus has or have been plus verb ing. We are adding an ing along with the base verb. For example, as you can see over here in the affirmative sentences, I have been playing. You have been playing. We have been playing. They have been playing. He has been playing. She has been playing. It has been playing. Negative sentences. I have not been playing. You have not been playing. We have not been playing. They have not been playing. He has not been playing. She has not been playing. It has not been playing. Interrogative or questions. Have I been playing? Have you been playing? Have we been playing? Have they been playing? Has he been playing? Has she been playing? Has it been playing? Why don't you pause this video and try to solve all these 5 sentences all by yourself. Now let's check the answers. We have been watching the football match for an hour. Susan has been studying in the library for 3 hours. Sam has been working at the hospital since February. Kids have been playing video game for 2 hours. What have you been doing? Now we will move to the past tense. When we talk about the past tense, mostly talk about the activities which took place before now, the current time. It may be an activity from yesterday, last week, last month, or last year, even several years back. The first segment is past simple. We use this tense to talk about the completed activities that started in the past and they ended in the past. Let's see it on the timeline. So the activity started in the past and was completed in the past. Sam wrote the essay. They went to Switzerland for the holidays. He lived in Germany in 2005. It may be in the recent past or in the distant past. Also, it may represent one action or multiple actions. For example, yesterday I invited my brother to my home and played chess. We can also use this for talking about the time duration. Sam waited all afternoon at the hospital. Susan and Sam played for 3 hours. Before we see the formation of the past simple tense, we need to know something important. Regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that have consistent endings, while we form simple past and past participle forms. On the other hand, irregular verbs do not follow that rule. Let's understand this with some common examples. For regular verbs ending with vowels, we add D to convert it into a past tense. Ending with consonant, we add ed to convert it into the past form. Ending with y, we change it to ied. So the table over here, as you can see, has 3 columns: base form, past simple, past participle. So the first example we took was close. So the base form is close. Past simple is closed. Past participle is closed as well. Similarly, play, played, played. Roll, rolled, rolled. Fry, fried, fried. Now let's look for some irregular verbs. In these cases, we need to learn the past forms. For example, go, went, gone. Know, knew, known. Do, did, done. Bite, bit, bitten. Additionally, there are some verbs which do not change their forms at all. Cut, cut, cut. Hit, hit, hit. Put, put, put. Let, let, let. As you can see, the base form of cut, hit, put, let remains the same for past simple, remains the same for past participle as well. Now coming back to our verb tense form, for affirmative or positive, subject plus base form of the verb plus d or ed or ied for any regular verbs. Affirmative or positive: I, you, we, they played. He, she, it played. For negative and questions, sentences that we use usually would have the subject plus base form of the verb plus did or did not. Negative: I, you, we, they did not or didn't play. He, she, it did not play. Interrogative or questions: did I, you, we, they play? Did he, she, it play? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. So let's check our answers. My friend bought a black car. A lady walked with her dog. I watched this movie with my friend. We played for 3 hours yesterday. I went to my friend's house yesterday. Let's now move on to our next tense, which is past continuous. The past continuous tense describes actions or events in a time before now, which began in the past and were still going on when another event occurred. Here, primarily, what we want to emphasize on is the duration for which the activity was in progress. So let's see where we can use the past continuous tense. We use this to talk about an action in the past that started at a specific time or the action is continuing after a specific time. For example, yesterday at 2 p.m. we were watching a movie. We also use this tense when we talk about an action in the past that was interrupted. I was playing a video game when you called me. We also use this tense to talk about the action continuing during a period. John was playing all day. We also use this tense to talk about the planned action. I was planning to visit my mom, but I couldn't get the train tickets. The formation is simple. We use the subject plus verb to be plus the base form of the verb plus ing to it. Affirmative or positive: I, he, she, it was playing. You, we, they were playing. Negative: I, he, she, it was not playing or wasn't playing. You, we, they were not or weren't playing. Interrogative or questions: was I, he, she, it playing? Were you, we, they playing? Past continuous exercise. Now pause the video and try to complete the given sentences using the correct form of the verb. So let's check our answers. I was watching Netflix when she called. The boys were playing in the garden. The teacher was teaching when I entered the class. The kids were playing in the garden when the rain started. Were they reading? Past perfect. In this section of the video, we will learn about the past perfect tense. The past perfect is an advanced tense, but we can easily understand it. With this tense, we refer to a time before the current time. We use it to show one of the activities that happened before another activity in the past. Also, it doesn't matter which activity is mentioned first, but it should be clear which event took place first with respect to another event in the past. Or in simple words, we can say we use this tense to talk about two events in the past, and we want to show which event happened first in the past. For example, when they arrived, the train had already left the station. When I reached the theater, The movie already started. By the time Susan moved to England, she had graduated from Delhi University. In these sentences, we are trying to show that one activity already occurred before another activity started in the past. We also use past perfect tense to talk about the conditional statements like, if I had studied harder, I'd have cleared the exam by now. Now let's look at the formation of the past perfect. Subject plus had plus past participle. Positive sentence. I, you, we, they, she, he, it had played. Negative. I, you, we, they, he, she, it had not or hadn't played. Questions. Had I, you, we, they, he, she, it played? Past perfect exercise. So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. Let's check our answers. Had the milk boiled when you went to the kitchen? I had already taken the medicine. We had not talked much. Why had she gone to the library? I had reached school before the gates were closed. Past perfect continuous. The past perfect continuous tense, also known as the past perfect progressive tense, shows that an action that started in the past continued for a certain period of time in the past itself. For example, it had been raining all week. They had been working on that presentation for 2 weeks. Sam had been waiting for 2 hours till the doctor arrived. Uses of past perfect continuous. We use this form of tense when we want to express that something which was going on in the past. For example, it had been raining all week. We also use this form of tense to show an event or an activity which is happening, however, before another event took place. For example, Sam had been playing football before it started to rain. We also use this form of tense to show an event that was ongoing for a duration. For example, they had been working on that presentation for 2 weeks. We can also use this tense to show a pattern of events taking place in the past. For example, Susan had been going to the cafe regularly. Now the formation. It is a simple formula, subject plus had been plus the ing form of any verb that you take up. The first segment is the affirmative or positive sentence. I, you, we, they, he, she, it had been playing. Negative sentence. I, you, we, they, he, she, it had not been playing. Interrogative or questions. Had I, you, we, they, she, he, it been playing? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. Let's check our answers. He had been sleeping after the lunch. She had been going to school every day. Had you been studying all day? Susan had been going for a walk. We had been playing video game for 3 hours. Future tense. In this part of the video, you will learn about the future tenses. We will start with future simple. Uses of the future simple tense. We can use this tense to predict the future. For example, it will snow tomorrow. We can also use this to express an instant decision. I will join you for lunch. We can also use the future simple tense to talk about the promises. I will return your camera on Sunday. Sometimes we also use this tense to offer the help. I will hold the door for you. We can also use this for something informal like I'll see you tomorrow. Now let's see how to form the future simple tense. It's simple. We will take the subject plus will and the verb. This is going to be the base form of the verb. So first is the affirmative or positive sentence. I, you, we, they, he, she, it will play. Negative. I, you, we, they, she, he, it will not play. Questions. Will I, you, he, we, she, they, it play? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. Let's check our answers. We will play cricket. He will not drink coffee. They will win the match. I will make you a sandwich. Future continuous tense. The future continuous tense, sometimes also referred to as the future progressive tense, is a verb tense that shows that something will take place in the future and will continue for a certain period of time. For example, I will be watching a movie from 3 to 5 p.m. tomorrow. We will be leaving for the weekend. Now let's see where we can use this tense. We can use this to show that an activity will continue for a certain duration in the future. For example, I will be watching Netflix from 3 to 6 p.m. We also use this tense to talk about an activity that will be in continuation at a given time in the future. For example, this Friday at 4:30 p.m. I will be taking my driving test. Now, let's see how to form the future continuous tense. Will plus be plus the present participle, that is the base form of the verb, plus an ing. Affirmative sentences. I, you, we, they, he, she, it will be playing. Negative. I, you, we, they, she, he, it will not be playing. Questions. Will I, you, we, they, he, she, it be playing? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. So let's check our answers. Sam will be attending the meeting. I will not be going to the movies. How many people will be coming? Susan will not be waiting for you at the bus station. He will not be playing football. Future perfect. We use this tense to talk about an activity that will be completed in the future at a certain time or before another activity actually starts. This is all in the future. So how do we use them? When we are talking about the future, but before a certain point of time in the future, for example, by next month I will have moved to a new house. We can also use this tense to talk about the completed activity in the future before another activity actually starts. Example, before the guest arrives, I will have cleaned the house. Now let's see how to form the future perfect tense. The formula is simple. Will have plus the past participle of the base verb. For example, here in the table you can see the positive sentence, which is I, you, we, they, he, she, it will have played. Negative. I, you, we, they, he, she, it will not have played. Questions. Will I, you, we, they, he, she, it have played? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. Let's check our answers. Sam will have studied all the subjects. She will have eaten the breakfast. Susan will have bought a new computer. Will Sam have cleaned the house? She will not have gone to the market by car. The future perfect continuous, sometimes also called the future perfect progressive, is a verb tense that describes actions that will continue until a point in the future, or how long any activity will have been in progress before a particular time or an event in the future. So the main stress is using this tense is to show the duration. Suppose I have moved to the United Kingdom in 2017. Currently, it's December 2021. So, I can say by September 2022, I will have been living here in the United Kingdom for 5 years. Now let's see how to form the future perfect continuous tense. We take will plus have plus been plus the base form and an ing. Positive sentences. I, you, we, they, he, she, it will have been playing. Negative. I, you, we, they, he, she, it will not have been playing. Questions. Will I, you, we, they, he, she, it have been playing? So now pause the video and try to complete the following sentences using given verbs. Let's check our answers. Sam will have been working on this project since April. She will have been walking for 2 hours by this time tomorrow. By the time you reach home, I will have been working for 3 hours. By 2023, Sam will have been learning English for 3 years on YouTube. By midnight, I will have been watching Netflix for 5 hours. Final exercise. Pick up a verb from the verbs given below and try to make all the 12 tenses using it and comment below, like walk, run, sing, work, write, dance. Excellent! You have learned all the English tenses. I know it's a lot to digest, so I would suggest revising any part which you have not understood well. Also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get an immediate notification as soon as a new video is uploaded. Please feel free to share it with all your friends if you think this was useful.